Well, how's everybody doing this morning? It's morning where I am. It's 11:17 in the morning. I don't know what it is up by you guys, but let me check something out here. All right. I hope you're being able to hear me. I hope everything's going all right. I won't know until I'm done with this. All right. But I talk a lot of politics. I do a lot of regular videos. I've uploaded quite a few videos to YouTube over the years. And I just decided that every once in a while I'm going to go live so that I can let people talk to me and curse me out and do whatever they want to do. Uh, let's just close this thing here. Okay. I I'm in favor of Kamala Harris as running for the Democratic side of it because it scares the hell out of Trump, and I'm not really sure why. I know he has problems with women. He can't get laid anymore. He can't even buy it now. That's a pathetic story, but it happens to be true. He's mentally disturbed, but it happens to be true. He's mentally disturbed to some degree. I think most of it's his narcissism. I don't think there's you know, and what he doesn't understand, I think, and which I find quite amusing, is the fact that he doesn't understand that once he's elected president, and once they start to put that whacked out agenda through, he they're going to remove him somehow or another because they can't. The people that are sponsoring him, trust me, he's not alone in this thing. I mean, he's not the man. Okay, he's the face of a horrible subculture in America called fascism. All right. So once he's elected president and they realize that they can't control him because he's wacky out of the, because he's just really crazy, they'll remove him somehow or another. I don't know how they'll do it. You know, maybe they'll help the Democrats impeach him or something like that, and everybody will think everything's going to go back to and be peachy keen. And you don't understand. The people behind Biden are worse than Biden. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Oh wow. The people behind Trump are worse than Donald Trump is. Okay. Now, I'm Trump's age, and you can see what happens to the cognitive properties of the mind by watching me. I don't have people talking to me and letting me say all kinds of real crazy shit. I have to be careful what I say because I don't want people looking for me. Just so you know, and I have to be upfront about this. I do not live in the United States, and I haven't for the last 14 years. I live in a little suburb of Medellin called Bello, and it's in Colombia, South America. I do that because, number one, my wife is from Colombia. Number two, I retired and I couldn't afford to live on Social Security in the United States. So I moved down here where my money goes a lot further. And I'm able to live a decent life. Some people think I'm rich. I'm not. Maybe I'm not even rich by Colombian standards. Because Colombian standards are rich people are drug dealers, and they got billions. They just don't go around telling anybody. Um, so I decided to do a couple live videos. I did a lot of live videos once before, and I got some reaction to them. I'm not getting any kind of reaction from my uploaded videos. They go on Blogger, Facebook, Tumblr, and as well as YouTube. They're posted to YouTube. What I try to explain to people is that this is not, I don't claim anything I say to be 100% factual because I don't have the resources to research everything I say. Basically, what I'm doing with my companion Lucy, who's not here right now, is to express opinions, thoughts that I think are important. I mean, there was a thing on Facebook. Somebody posted my age posted this list of things that we've seen and done, people my age, and when you do that and you take a look around and then you say, why are they letting this stuff happen? I mean, I was around. Historically, I wasn't around during World War II. I was born after World War II was over, 1946. I'm a baby boomer. Anyhow, the thing is that I was close when I started to read and whatnot. I was close enough to World War II to get some old history books and talk to people that were there and everything like that. And relatives, some relatives, not too many of them. A lot of them didn't talk about it because it was a bad time. War is not a happy thing. Anybody that shows you guys jumping up and down and celebrating, well, you know, maybe when the war was over, but they don't show you what these people are like 5 years later. There was a lot of PTSD back then that they didn't even know what it was. They called it shell shock. But anyhow, I remember reading history books going back in the 1930s, 37, 38, showing the rise of Hitler. And you look, Hitler, when Hitler came and fascism came to power, Hitler took a scapegoat, the Jews, for what was wrong in the country, what he thought was wrong in the country, in Germany at the time. And it took a very nasty turn. Okay, they went from breaking windows to shooting them and torturing them and burning them and experimenting on them and everything else. It's just a horrible thing. A lot of people don't believe it happened. Trust me, I know people that were there and that people saw the trust. I know people that were entered the concentration camps when they were liberated. So, I don't think many of them are alive right now because they were all in their 20s back then. But anyhow, so Trump is taking a group of people, primarily Latin American immigrants, because he's not going after the Indians from India because they're all doctors and lawyers and they all come in legally. He's coming to anybody that crosses the border, southern border, illegally, he wants to get out of here. Let me tell you something. The northern border is less guarded and easier to cross. If you're determined to cross, that's the way to go. You can cross the Great Lakes in a rowboat. I mean, nobody's gonna. It's just not. It's easy. Okay. So that bothers me tremendously. But he's going to persecute those people. He's going to deport them. If they're lucky, they'll get deported. If they don't get shot down or something like that, depends on how who he puts in charge of all of that. But know this: if you're going after, if you're going to use the military is made up of a lot of immigrants. Okay, they're legal. Some of them are using it to become legal. So it can get kind of crazy, but that's how it starts. His project 2025, which he denies he's ever seen or anything, but he knows it exists. There are rumors that of people who said they personally handed him a copy, that he was there at. At some of the writings and whatnot that went into it. I don't know whether they're true because I can't prove it. But I do believe he's quite aware of what's going on in there because a lot of it reflects things that he said in the past. Now that is a manifesto. Like, I think his manifesto was Mein Kampf, if I'm not right. I could be wrong, but if that I think that was a manifesto. That might have been just his story, his biography. I don't know. But anyhow, uh, that's where we're at. I mean, you've got all this going on. Uh, it's the similarities, and nobody seems to notice it. You have these groups of people in the background that are like the youth groups during Hitler's time. Only they're not young people; they're older people. And why do they want to do away with this? Because they've always blamed black people. They've always blamed people of color for their faults. Okay, because they don't believe that they've ever uh, done anything wrong. They don't believe that they've ever been able to be blamed for something that it's always somebody else's fault. It's easier to do that. We've all done it. Growing up, the classic comic strip. I think it was all in the something family circle or something, and a little ghost in the background with the "not me" written on it. That's Trump and his people. They want to blame somebody else for the failure. The Republican Party right now wastes more time uh, berating people and belittling people than they do trying to build the country up. So how can they make America great again? I personally don't think America's that bad, because right now I'm in another country and I can say, I can compare the two, and I know people that have experiences in other countries will tell you that this is, America is not bad. Maybe not, it's not perfect, and I don't know and it's never going to be perfect. And if you make it an all-white, misogynist country, it's not going to be perfect. South Africa tried that; it didn't work. Uh, and I think those were the English and Dutch or something that were involved in that apartheid. But that's another thing nobody remembers. You say to some kid today, do you know what apartheid is? And they're going to say, well, what are you talking about, bro? That's the way it is. They don't know. History is not something people want to study. History can be very boring at times. But I forgot the guy's name. I read the quote this morning. It happened to be on Facebook again, where those that don't learn from history are destined to repeat history. That's basically what it boils down to. It's not. It's a little more flowery than that, but that's what it boils down to. And you can see it out here. What's the deal when you look at black people and you say they're no good, and then go to the history books and see what they've done for this country. All right, go to the history book and see what immigrants have done for this country. We're all immigrants, by the way. Hey, look who showed up. That's Lucy. That's my partner in crime. But I have this problem. I forget what I'm saying sometimes, and that just happened. Oh God, I'm old. What can I tell you? And that's Trump's problem too. So he you can tell when he goes off in these rants, he doesn't remember what he's saying sometimes. And I try to limit myself to what I say. So but uh, looking back, saying that history is not something people want to study anymore. It's a boring subject. But history will explain everything to some degree. We constantly repeat, we go in cycles, we repeat history. If it doesn't repeat in this country, it'll repeat in another country, you know? And, the people, I don't know how many people are still alive in Germany that lived through World War II and the Nazism and the fascism and everything. If there are a few of them alive over there, they're looking at us going, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What are you doing? Don't you realize you're making the same mistakes that we are? And the biggest thing that people do that allows this to happen is complacency. They don't want to be involved. I have friends that will tell you either because of their financial status in life or whatever, that they don't worry about the future. You know, I didn't worry about my future when I was 25 years old, man. I was a hippie. I didn't give it. I never expected to live to be what I am. I lived longer than my father did. I've outlived most of the males in my family. You know, I'm just happy that I can remember what I did yesterday, and that I remember to wipe my ass when I take a dump. All right, this has been a pretty cool experiment. You'll find out that if I go, as I get to 15 minutes, I start to my mind starts to, you know, like drugs are kicking in or something. All right, but listen, I'm gonna try it again. It's not gonna be an everyday thing, but look for me between, like say, a quarter to 11 and 12 o'clock, 12:30, something like that. Depending on where I am and what I'm doing. Uh, Saturday, I don't know what I'm going to do. Sometimes I have commitments. I have to leave the house, and I don't do a lot of this at night because you think I talk funny now and you think I'm losing my mind now. Watch me at night. All right. So anyhow, let's get out of here. Give people a chance to curse me and write me up and everything like that. And I'll talk to you later.